All right. Good morning, my friends. Happy full moon in Virgo. So, like I said, this class will be somewhat focused on the solar plexus and throat chakras. It will be strong, but not super vigorous. It's kind of that slow, steady work and really feeling into our bodies. So, that being said, I want us to start in a seated position. And just settle in. Maybe we have something under our hips to give us some elevation. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Draw the belly in so we're sitting nice and tall. Tuck the chin slightly. And soften the gaze or close the eyes. And just find the breath. Take a moment of stillness. In these cycles of big energy with lots of stuff swirling around us, we often forget to be still because we get carried away on the waves, on the action, on the to-dos, on the things, on the distractions. There's a lot to pay attention to, and we forget that it is vitally important to be still. So right here, right now, in this moment is your opportunity to be still. Soften the jaw and let the breath start to take a little bit more time. And notice if the inhales and exhales are even or if one is longer than the other. Just pay attention to that. And then bring evenness into them. Let them each take about the same amount of time. It doesn't have to be exact. Every inhale lets you grow taller, reminds you to be supportive in your muscles. Every exhale settles into the space that you are creating. Beautiful. Let's inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Eyes can stay closed. Exhale, palms together to our heart. Again, inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale to our heart. One more time. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, palms together to our heart. Bow the head slightly. Take a moment to just check in with yourself. Find a focus, a direction, an intention. Maybe visit your sankalpa. And then inhale the arms open, finding cactus arms. As we exhale, bring the forearms towards each other. Maybe they connect, maybe they don't. Inhale, bring them open, press them back. Exhale, forearms towards each other. Just start to flow with your breath into this movement. Inhaling to open and press back. Exhale to bring forward and touch. Keep going. Option to add the spine movement into this. So as we inhale, roll the heart open, finding kind of that cow movement. Exhale, arch the back, scoop the belly, cat. Option, not necessity. Inhale, roll open through the front body. Exhale, roll open through the back body. Nice and spacious here, don't rush. Couple more, and rest if you need to. You may be feeling this in your shoulders. And that's okay. On your next inhale, reach open, arms reach overhead, thumbs connect. And then exhale, let the hands go. Beautiful. Walk yourself to a little forward fold here and just take a little movement, maybe rocking side to side, maybe simply shaking the head and neck out. Let the breath continue to flow. Beautiful. Walk yourself back up. Let's make our way to downward facing dog. Taking as much time as you need, moving through any other postures that are talking to you. And once we get to downward dog, go ahead and just bend one knee and then the other. Keep the breath flowing here. And then maybe you had a little twist. So as you bend one knee, let that hip drop towards the ground as the other hip lifts. And then switch. So this moves into the torso a little bit more, into the side body. Good. Coming back to stillness in downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to a plank. Belly pulls in, heart draws forward. Keep the hips lifted. Knees can come to the ground if you need it. If you want support more than what you already have, breathe. And then exhale, up and back, downward dog. Nice. We're going to do one more of those. Inhale, roll forward to our plank. Feel the strength of the body. Keep the breath steady and strong. Reach the crown of the head forward. Maybe you rock a little forward and back here. And then exhale, up and back, downward dog. Great work. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Coming to a forward fold at the back end of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Find a long spine. Draw the belly up and in. Exhale, fold it deep. Grab opposite elbows here. Let's maybe rock a little side to side. Let the head be heavy. Let the shoulders release. And then release the hands. And roll up to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. All the way up until you come to mountain pose. The back of your mat. Yep. Good. Take a moment. Take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, elbows open to that goal post, cactus arms. And again, we're going to do what we did seated, but notice the space we have as we stand. So inhale, open the heart, press the arms back. Maybe we add that spinal flexion. Exhale, elbows come towards each other, scoop the belly. Inhale, roll it open. Let the knees be soft here. So you can have this movement all the way down the spine if you choose to do that. And now we're going to add a little bit more breath. Inhaling through the nose as we open. Exhale, open mouth. Strong diaphragmatic press. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, sweep the arms over the head. Exhale, fold forward. Take a moment and just move around and breathe in your forward fold. Good. And then as you're ready, walk your hands forward, coming back into a downward dog. When you get to downward dog, roll forward to a plank pose. Exhale, rock forward. Knees come to the mat. So hips are still engaged. We're creating a long line from the top of our head to our knees. Elbows tuck in, squeeze the armpits, heart draws forward. As we exhale, I want you to take a micro bend into the elbows, like you're moving into chaturanga. Pause, belly stays lifted. Inhale, press up, and then over to child's pose. Hips coming back towards the heels, forehead releases, arms come alongside the body, palms face up. Let the shoulders get nice and heavy. Notice where your mind goes when you have a little bit of a challenge. Notice what stories come up when you are pushing a little more than normal. And then notice what happens when you rest. There are other stories that come up as you rest as well. So just notice your responses, your patterns, your behaviors, your thoughts. All right, reach the arms forward. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog again. From a downward dog, I want you to lift the right leg into the air. Keep the hips even with the earth so we're not twisting here. Lean back. Imagine someone's pulling that foot up and back. Draw the belly in. Press the earth away. One more breath. Lift through the heel of the right foot. And then exhale, bring that right foot behind the right wrist. I only want you to step far enough forward that you can plant the back heel on the ground as we rise all the way up. So we're moving into pyramid, really is where we're headed. So check yourself, grab blocks, place them in front of your or beside your front foot. And then I want to make sure this back heel is grounded. I want to make sure the front foot is grounded, hip distance apart. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, zip everything up. Exhale, flare the sit bones towards the back of the room like you're sticking your butt out. Good, notice how that takes your upper body forward. Belly draws in again. And then exhale, we start to hinge. I only want you to go so far as you can keep your hips even with the earth and both legs strong and straight. Good. Inhale, arms come open to the side like wings. Arms are straight this time. Exhale, release the hands down, fingertips touch beneath your heart, like you're reaching for the toes on your front foot. Inhale, arms come open again. Exhale, fingertips reach. Inhale, open, keep the belly strong, keep the spine strong. Exhale, fingertips reach, squeeze the belly in. Good. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Both legs stay straight, elbows bend, hands interlace behind the head. Heart rolls open. Bring the weight a little bit more into that back foot. Keep it pretty even in both feet though. Elbows open, heart lifts. We're taking a little bit of a back bend. Front body extension here. Shoulders stay out of the ears. Breathe. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to the mat and step back to downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to our plank. Exhale, rock forward and bring the knees to the mat, staying in that kneeling plank. Heart draws forward, armpits pinch, belly pulls in. Exhale, micro bend the elbows like you want to bring them to your ribs. Pause, breathe, find the strength in your body. Press back up and then settle into child's pose. Hips come back towards the heels, forehead towards the earth. Arms come beside you. Elbows soften. Beautiful. Feel your body. Take this moment to notice, to connect a little bit more. Maybe you even visit your sankalpa or your intention or your focus. One more moment. And then arms reach forward. Tuck the toes, lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale that left leg into the air behind you. Keep the hips even with the earth. Lean back. Lift through that leg. Imagine someone's pulling from that heel. Up and back. Breathe. Nothing else. I want you to breathe. Lift that heel a little bit higher. And then exhale, bring the foot behind the left wrist. Plant the back heel, adjust your stance, and rise all the way up. I realized I had you put your blocks there and we never got there. So you decide if the blocks need to come beside that front foot or not. Hands come to the hips. Good. From here, both legs are straight, zipping everything up to midline. Make sure the weight is even in the feet. Flare the sit bones, open them towards the back of the mat, and then hinge forward. Only go so far as both hips stay even. And just because you went one place on one side doesn't mean the other side wants to do that. So pay close attention. Good. Inhale, the arms open to the side like wings. Keep those legs straight. That spine is long. Exhale, fingertips touch, reaching towards the earth. Inhale, roll it open. Spine is strong here. We're not using that spinal flexion. Exhale, fingertips reach. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. One more. Inhale it open. Exhale, close. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, rising tall. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the head, elbows come wide. So both legs are still straight here, but not locked. Belly draws up and in, heart starts to lift, head starts to press into the hands. Weight comes a little bit more into the back foot as we find that beautiful front body opening. Elbows are wide. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it out. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, release to the mat. Step to downward facing dog. All right, yogi's choice this time. Maybe you just meet in child's pose. Maybe you stay in downward dog and play for a minute. Maybe you play with that chaturanga that we've been working on. Maybe you take a full vinyasa, which is exhaling all the way to the ground, inhaling to your back bend. We'll all meet in child's pose. Taking rest. Rest and stillness is important, especially when you're doing the big work, the hard work. I was working with a client the other day and we were finishing up, and we always do a card draw at the end of our sessions, and the card cycles fell out. And I thought, I don't know if that's for her or for me. And it was for me because I read about it later, and it talks about remembering that everything is a cycle. There's a time to work. There's a time to rest. There's a time to learn. There's a time to plan. And that you can't be in one part of that cycle at all times. It's important to visit every aspect of that cycle. And I needed to hear that. That was for me. All right, so coming back up, grab a strap and place it kind of near the front of your mat, probably where your hands would be or just behind your hands. We're going to put it under the foot as we step forward. And once it's there, we'll make our way to downward facing dog. And if you don't have a strap at home, you can just use a belt, or sometimes I even just use a towel or a shirt that I can just lay along and use as a strap. Robe belts work really, really well. Okay, downward dog. Right leg lifts into the air again. Keep the hips even. Lean back, lift the heel. Keep breathing. And then exhale, bring the foot behind the wrist, just like we did before. I want you to plant your foot on that strap. Make sure the back heel comes to the earth. And as you rise up, grab hold of that strap. So for me, I like to bring the strap for this into kind of the ball of my foot. So it's not right in my arch. I have pressure on it, and the heel for me is too far back. So I like to have it in the ball of my foot. Okay. Check your alignment. Make sure weight is even in both feet. It'll feel weird with the strap because I want you to press down to hold it, right? But I want weight in the back foot as well. Scissor everything to midline, even out the hips. Belly draws up and in. And then exhale, hinge forward to about as far as you went last time. So I have to walk my hands down my strap a little bit. I want a little bend in the elbows here. We're going to use this spinal flexion to fold into this pyramid. So think about pressing the tailbone towards the back of the room, especially in that right hip. That right hip is really drawing back. Inhale, draw the belly towards the thigh, open the heart forward. Exhale, arch the back and curl in. Walk your hands down the strap. Here we go again. Inhale, draw the belly to the thigh, flare the sit bones, roll the heart forward. Exhale, fold in. Don't arch the back quite as much this time. One more time. Inhale, draw the belly to the spine, roll the heart forward, hands come down the strap. And then exhale, this time just melt into that forward fold. Pull against the strap, press the foot into the mat. Maybe you're at your foot, just put a little pressure there. Good. Inhale. I want you to lengthen enough to just find a long spine. Keep the strap in the left hand. Right hand comes to the hip. Belly draws in, and we'll take a twist. So we're going to twist to the right. Pull against the strap. Draw the heart forward. Both legs are straight as much as possible. Breathe. Yes. Beautiful. Unwind. Whee! Take the hands to the mat. Step back to downward dog. Feel the difference between the sides there. So here, I offer you two options. Thread the needle, which is hands and knees twisting under. We're going to use that right arm to twist. Or if you're looking for a little bit more intensity, this downward dog, we'll take the right hand and reach underneath us towards the left ankle, looking underneath that left armpit. Couple of breaths in whatever twist to the left you choose to take. Flare the sit bones. Breathe. And then come back to downward dog. Move around. If you want a vinyasa, I certainly won't stop you. And then as you're ready, let's take that left leg into the air behind you. Hips are even with the earth. Lift the heel, lean back, breathe. And then exhale the foot forward, planting it on that strap. Back heel is grounded. And then rise all the way up, holding on to that strap. Yes, so take your time to get yourself adjusted. Good. From here, again, that foot is pressing into the strap. The strap is pulling against it a little bit. Zip everything up to midline. Even out the hips. Inhale. Draw the belly forward. Lift the heart. Flare the sit bones. Exhale. Arch the back as you curl forward. Walk the hands down the strap. Inhale, flare the sit bones, drop the belly towards the thigh, roll the heart forward. Exhale, arch the back just a little bit. Every time you go deeper, you arch less. And then fold. Inhale, belly towards the thigh, heart rolls open. Exhale, fold. Let's do one more. Inhale, belly towards the thigh, heart rolls open. And then exhale, just melt into this pyramid, this fold. Again, pull against the strap slightly, even if you're at your feet. Like I'm just going to bend my elbows and kind of pull against the strap. That activates that front leg, which is vitally important here. And then take the strap into the right hand. Left hand comes to the hip as you lengthen the spine. So you're going to come up and out of this just a little bit. And then exhale, twisting to your left. Keep the spine nice and long. Pull against the strap. Both legs are straight. Breathe. If nothing else, breathe. Lengthen the heart one more moment. Good. And then exhale. Unwind. Woo. Plant the hands. Step back to downward dog. Notice your thoughts. Option to come to hands and knees and take the left arm twisting underneath you to the right, or staying in that downward dog. Left hand reaches underneath towards that right ankle. We look underneath that right armpit. Breathe. No matter where we are, flare the sit bones a little bit. And then come back to downward dog. Option to take a vinyasa, cat and cow. Eventually, we'll all meet in child's pose. Finding that rest again. Feeling that work in your body. Noticing the practice that you've just had. The things you've just done. What parts of your body are you aware of? What thoughts are floating through your awareness? Beautiful. Let's make our way to seated. And I encourage you to lift your hips. So sit on something. I'm going to sit on my bolster for this. We're going to move into some pranayama for a moment, some bellows breath. Which is perfect for solar plexus and throat chakras. So when we lift our hips, we have more room to move in our pelvis, and it makes our pelvis more neutrally aligned, anatomically neutrally aligned. So bellows breath is similar to breath of fire in its strength. It's a strong diaphragmatic breath. Bellows breath is slower than breath of fire. If you do 40-day sadhanas with me, the bellows breath was in our sadhana, I think, or our kriya. Gosh, I can't believe I don't remember that now. We've done it recently in our kundalini. So bellows breath is an even inhale and exhale. And yeah, grab Kleenex or if you need it, because like I can tell I'm going to clear my sinuses out. So it sounds like this. There's my nose. Okay, so it's even, it's faster, but not super fast. Breath of fire sounds like this. The focus of that is an exhale. Bellows, the focus is the inhale and the exhale. The lungs are literally expanding and contracting to its capacity. Okay, so hands come to the knees or the lap, sitting nice and tall. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. This always pops my eyes open, but soften the gaze. Let's take a breath before we begin. We'll begin on the inhale. So let's inhale naturally. Exhale, empty everything out and begin. Last one. Inhale, hold for a moment, digest some of that prana. Exhale, let it go. Return to just a comfortable breath and notice. So the first couple times I do this, my head I get a little lightheaded, I get a little dizzy, and it's just because my body's like, what's happening? If that happens to you, stop. Take a breath, let everything regulate again. If it's not pleasant, if it's uncomfortable, if it's scary, stop. You can always catch up, you can always do more. The more you do this, the more adapted your body gets to this. Okay, so we're gonna do this again, but we're gonna add, you've guessed it, the spinal flexion. Okay, so as we inhale, we open the front body. As we exhale, we open the back body. Okay, so it'll look like this. Okay, and I'm going to cue this for 12 times. I'll count. Don't worry, you don't have to worry about it. 12 times. If you need to stop before that, please do. Okay, so let's take a breath to begin. Let's inhale. Exhale, empty all the way out. Squeeze everything out and begin. Halfway there. Two more. Last one. Inhale, come to center, hold the breath, digest some of that oxygen, let it settle. And release. Breathe and notice. Feel the body. Yeah, empty out the sinuses, clear the nose. All right, let's go ahead and make our way to our backs. And have a block nearby as you get there. So just have it at hand. We don't need it quite yet. Okay, once we settle in, keep the knees bent. Let the hips get heavy and just take a moment and let the body settle into the earth here. Notice the lower back, adjust as you need to keep it nice and long. Notice the neck. Keep it nice and long, adjust the head, tuck the shoulders underneath you. And just feel the body on the earth. Notice the curves of your spine, what's touching, what isn't. Notice the heaviness of the hips. Let the shoulders be heavy as well. Often they aren't. And then walk the feet into hip distance, close to the hips. We're going to move into a bridge flow. So as we exhale, I want you to tuck the tailbone so like you're lifting the pubic bone, like you're doing a pelvic tilt. As you inhale, let that lead you into bridge. So hips coming off of the mat, chest presses towards the chin, but don't let the chin get caught. Exhale, slowly come back down. Keep the tailbone lifted. And at the very end, on your inhale, everything settles and lengthens. We're going to do that once more, just like that. As you exhale, tailbone tucks. As you inhale, hips start to lift. Chest starts to lift. And then exhale, one vertebrae at a time, back down to the earth. Tailbone stays lifted. It's the last thing to come down. When it gets there, inhale, let everything release. Take a breath here. So option to do just that. We're going to do 2 more of these. I'm going to give you an option to expand upwards in our body. And that simply is moving the arms as well. So when we lift the hips, we're not going to do it yet. As we lift the hips, moving into bridge, our arms will lift and reach overhead. So we'll have an extension in our upper body, in our shoulders and our arms as our hips are lifted. And as we come back down, our arms will come back as well to rest beside us. So option to add that, option to just do 2 more bridges like we've just done. Plant your feet, feel your body. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the pubic bone towards the sternum, towards the sky. And then inhale, lift the hips. Maybe the arms start to raise. Chest presses as our arms reach overhead. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Hands start to sweep back down. Inhale as everything releases to the earth. Good, we got 1 more of these. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, start to lift the hips, maybe raise the arms. And then exhale, slowly bring the body back down. Arms release slowly as well. Inhale when you get there. Take a breath and just notice in stillness how you feel. Okay, just take a minute and rock those knees side to side. Release that lower back, release the hips a little bit. Option to add the head, so the knees go one way, the head looks the other way. So we get into the neck a little bit more. And then come back to center. Grab that block. And I want you to place the block between the feet, legs up the wall. So our legs are in the air holding onto that block. Make sure you don't bonk yourself in the head if that block falls out between your feet. Now, this may be all you want to do. Fully support that. Maybe this is just really what you're looking for, holding that block up in the air. If you're looking for a little bit more intensity, arms reach up, and as we exhale, head and shoulders lift so you can grab the block from your feet. Inhale, legs and arms extend. Exhale, bring everything back up and grab the block with your feet. Inhale, legs and arms extend. Again, this is an option. Exhale, grab the block with your hands. Good. Inhale, legs and arms extend. Exhale, grab the block with your feet. One more of these, nice and slow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, grab. Last one. And we'll end with the block in our feet. Arms come wide. Take a moment here, just pressing through the heels, holding onto that block, finding your breath again, feeling the fire in your belly. And then bend the knees, grab that block, take your feet to the ground. Good work, my friends. Feet come as wide as the mat. And again, let's just rock those knees side to side. If you'd like to take a little twist, let the legs stay to one side. Maybe you bring the bottom foot on top of the other knee. Maybe you don't. Maybe you'd rather take a happy baby or something different. Find a posture, a place that releases your body. If you're twisting, go the opposite direction. Again, find your version of a twist, yogi's choice here. And then gently come back. Taking any last postures your body needs, any last movements your body needs. Happy babies, more twists. Forward fold, who knows? And make your way into Shavasana, into the final rest. So I invite you to put a blanket under your head or roll one up under your legs. Maybe you put a bolster under your knees. Maybe you find a wall for legs up the wall. Take a moment to settle into a place that is comfortable and restful, that is supportive to you. And then once you get there, take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Settle in, let the eyes soften or the eyes close. And just be at rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring awareness slowly back into your body. Take a moment to feel the work you've done, to notice your practice. And then return to your intention, your sankalpa, your direction, the work ahead of you. Slowly put movement in whatever way feels good to you, starting small, taking your time. Gradually moving more and more of your body in whatever way feels good. And eventually make your way to seated. There's no rush. Eyes remain closed. Focus inwards. Be gentle with yourself. Palms press in front of your heart. Lift your heart to meet your hands. Take a breath in and out. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within guide your way on. Namaste.